Hi Taurus, and welcome to your August 2020 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to talk to you about the energies coming in for your sign this month. And I hope that you are feeling really wonderful, Taurus, as I think that August of 2020 really does represent one of the last hurdles in really accessing some of the purpose, motivation, and forward momentum you've been wanting to find. I'm feeling that Virgo season, especially at the end of August and moving through September, is going to be a radically empowering time for you. But yes, as you can see by some of these energies coming up in August, there are a few obstacles and a few optimizations that you have to really get into in order to get where you want to be now. So let's talk about what's coming up for your sign. There's a lack of energy I'm feeling that has to be precisely focused this month, and something feeling a little bit uncoordinated as well. To a degree, this is the case for all the signs, so don't think I'm singling you out, Taurus. It's not just your sign that's struggling with this. But there is a large need for self-confidence in this month for your sign. You can kind of be too meek or too worried of others' opinions. You can be afraid that you're imposing on other people and they're not really even noticing you actually, or they're not actually, associating you with anything problematic, but you can be insecure or think that, what you're doing is not great for other people when it has no effect. So I think that this month at its most base level for you, Taurus, is about understanding what has gone on too long, what has not changed even though it needed to change. Basically, it's kind of like you either got to do it or get away from it now. Any goals, motivations, or insecurities that you face, it's really important to just get over those things. And it's almost that simple. There aren't that many tactics, I feel, or that many strange things that you can employ to overcome it. It's just a matter of doing it with a lot of these things, and also getting more energy. As I talk about quite often, Taurus, whenever I'm about to do a reading, I will meditate on the sign that I'm doing the reading for, and I will set an intention of seeing symbolism in my day that I can relate to the sign. And actually what happened today, Taurus, before I was doing your reading, I was driving and a very powerful storm came through, and when I returned home to do your reading, the power went out and the electricity went out, so I had to sit for about 2 hours just on the couch reading a book as the power was off. So I definitely would associate some amount of lack of energy for your energy coming in. Also something about a delay or not being able to do something, having your focus diverted from something and perhaps feeling quite frustrated about that. Also the extension of deadlines or anything that has to be done right this second being delayed or being put off. And I can kind of see a frustration in your energy as a result of that. And also a strong silence that comes on the other side of it too, where you're just kind of in your environment and you're kind of asking yourself, what does this project or what does this relationship or what does this, idea that I have mean for my long-term future? You're very connected to the long-term right now. You're with all the earth energy coming in, especially towards the end of the month, you are so interested in what your long-term stability looks like, what your long-term game plan is, and you can definitely see a change or a different possibility coming in this month, and especially into September, but it might not be implemented until early 2021, okay? But you can start to really plan for it, or you can start to really get on board with taking something that you've been doing for a long time to the next level, understanding the broader scope of a project or a goal through your own confinement or through your own sense of restriction. It kind of offsets it because we're in a very Saturnian time right now. Capricorn energy, it's very limiting, confining, and restricting, which sometimes can be needed. And it does often make you really understand where you want more in life. By not having enough somewhere, we understand where we need more. So that's a lot of what your energy is going through. You've got 5 of Cups, you've got 6 of Cups. You are maybe feeling sad about the past, or you're having memories come up and memories come in It feels like very positive memories are coming to the surface now, and you might change how you felt about somebody. Somebody from your past who you have made up your mind on might start to occupy a different opinion. Also, you, like the other way around, like someone that you really played up and enjoyed, you might start to see in a bit more of a negative light now too. So there's a switching, there's a seeing things in a new light this month too for you, and having, based on that, a new idea. As you understand the truth, or as you understand new perspectives, you also make way for new brilliant ideas to come in, which I love to see for your sign. You do have the Death card in the Hierophant as well, the Emperor and the Magician reversed as major arcana. I always say if there are 3 or more major arcana cards, it will be a very memorable month. So you are having memorable experiences now, and they're going to really be very spiritual. What a spiritual month with the Hierophant and Death. So even a change in like religious focus or a change in moral focus, you could start to have new ideas about humanity or society as a whole. And you could feel discouraged based on society, and through that start to really cultivate a new understanding of what you can give to society, how you can play a role that is very positive for society. That is possible for Taurus to really comprehend right now. So very neat to see what you guys are understanding. And it's also just worth noting that when you do step into a energy or a role like that, it's not easy, okay? Like there's a lot of pressure and a lot of confinement that does come as a result of really being societally focused. And that's not going to be for all Taurus, but if you are feeling very societally motivated or like politically motivated or wanting to be like more of an activist or something, as I kind of get an undertone of that for you, do you understand that that's going to require a bit of pressure, okay? And so Taurus has an odd relationship with pressure. Taurus is a sign of comfort. It's a sign of passive reception. It's a sign of ease. Like Taurus is meant to have things easy and simple in their lives. So these really complicated ideas that you're having now, I would pursue them, and whatever your heart wants, obviously go after it, as long as it's integrity based and, you know, good for you as a person and good for the people around you. But if there's anything that poses a threat or anything that really makes your life a lot more difficult, but you can't quite see that yet, I would sit on it. I would let time pass and see how these ideas or these new theories start to really play out for you, and see what you can figure out. Okay, Taurus, next thing that I'm feeling for your sign is becoming more confident. I talked about this a little bit in the beginning, but really growing your self-confidence, okay? Very important. I'm feeling you to be quite kept to yourself, and it's not that you're insecure, but it feels like you're really afraid of interrupting the comfort of other people, or you're really maybe even self-sacrificing or putting a lot of pressure or stress onto yourself because you're afraid of how your natural, authentic self impacts other people. So I do feel a bit of a distortion between the authentic you and between what you're actually purveying in life. So really consolidating those two things will be a great victory if you could this month. There's a great transformation there. You know, with the Death card and the Magician, with the Magician reversed and Death, this is what I'm feeling. It's like you have these things at your disposal, or you have the capability to really shoot high right now, but you might really try to be quiet, okay? With the Magician reversed, you might really try to keep like the volume down or the visibility down, maybe wearing a lot of neutral colors and a lot of, just kind of walking with your head down and slipping in and out of places, and whispering in public. This is kind of what I'm feeling from your energy, where you almost need to be that vibrant, confident, bright person, wearing the bright colors with your head held high, Six of Wands, strutting through and not being afraid of what other people think. There's responsibility right now, and we all have to, consider other people, as we're perhaps having like outbreaks or anything like that with masks. I'm not saying to like go crazy or do something like odd or extraordinary in public, but we need Taurus to be like confident with the head held high right now, is what I'm feeling. And it really helps you to find your power, because with the Hierophant and the Emperor together, this is also always a very powerful combination. Somebody who is strong in their position, somebody who is self-contained and self-confident and knows that they are doing right in their lives. So on that note, really good to make sure that everything is in line. Okay, all like the debts are caught up, all the taxes are caught up, all of the bills are paid. Any of those, Virgo season, especially as we get to that, always deals with those types of things. And you will feel much more self-confident by at least understanding what you need to pay in. So anyway, Taurus, let's talk about the week to week. So week number 1, the Magician reversed, rooted down by the Hierophant. You might not be feeling the most spiritual starting out, but after the first week of August, you're all of a sudden going to be much more religiously or spiritually activated. I feel you to be gaining new philosophies. And if you feel like you don't have enough like time, money, energy, desire, enough relationships, enough support from other people, you will really start to grow into your own like boss. Like I'm feeling major boss energy from Taurus, like CEO energy, boss energy, lofty things coming in for your sign. But this August is really going to decide that, okay, can you step into your power? Can you be your own, best ally? Can you elevate yourself with the Leo and Capricorn energy to the point that you want to see life from? Because you're your own wielder is basically as best as I can put it with the energies coming in, Taurus. Nobody else is going to do it for you, okay? Nobody else is going to like hold the fire to your feet. Nobody else is going to get you moving but you. So this is where self-motivation, self-starting, self-confidence is the best currency for a Taurus right now. Money is not that big of a deal for you right now. Relationships are also not going to give you much right now. I'm just going to be blunt about it. Don't go looking for, your boss power in a relationship. Don't go looking for, that cheerleader in the relationship. Like honestly, for a Taurus, like if you're a Taurus who has like a spouse or, family that are like really cheering you on and be like, you can do this, we're going to help you out. We're there for you. Like you are super, super lucky. It feels to me that most Taurus, like people are kind of like maybe even a little bit resentful about your potential. So these people, Taurus, have got to be relying on them less because Taurus can be very influenced by very subtle, whispering or very subtle. Again, there's something about whispering, something about gossip, something about words in the grapevine or something. You got to really tune out from that this month and grieve and cope through your own personal power and elevation. That's where Taurus is strong this month. And the first week is going to transform your ideology and your standing in the sense of how much energy you have to do things. It's not so much in the first week about doing it or making it happen. It's about how you're carrying yourself. So yeah, less caffeine, less odd hormonal experiences. Okay, like what effect is what you're ingesting and what you're putting in front of your face or what you're taking in, what you're consuming? How is this affecting the homeostasis that's actually happening? This is really important for every sign, but especially like Taurus and Scorpio. That axis is very impacted and potentially taken off the path by, having too many, drinks or having something odd like that. So keep things sober. Okay. Week number 2, Ace of Swords, rooted down by the Emperor. Power, Taurus. It's incredible. You have a lot of power at your disposal and it's through your ideas. Okay. It's through, solving a problem, through understanding a formula and using it to your integrity-based advantage. Very, very neat. And there's nothing reckless, okay? There's nothing on a whim. There's nothing impulsive. This is really important for you, Taurus. This isn't like impulsively starting a business or impulsively buying new inventory or impulsively starting a relationship. This is about, through the last 4 or 5 years, understanding what has worked, what hasn't, plugging those things into a formula and coming to a very sober-minded simplification of what you need to do and what is really the only sober option. And through that, there is immense power for you and immense elevation. Okay, don't doubt it. Watch out for any control issues. People might want to, see that they can have some control over you. Keep things as solitary as possible because you've got a lot of like wheels to turn in your mind, it feels like. Week number 3, you have 5 of Cups rooted down by 6 of Cups. So chronological order, I really like that. You want to solve the emotional crisis in the third week of August. Every time, Taurus, that you almost get there, that you almost make that progress. It's weird. As I'm doing your reading, like, I don't want to be loud. Like, I'm kind of like whispering it. I'm kind of speaking quietly as I'm moving into your energy. Is there something that's like a secret or something that you don't want people to know? Is there something that needs to like come out of the closet or something? And I'm not just talking like sexuality, but it could be for some of you. Maybe staying in the closet is becoming way too exhausting, or maybe like not telling people that, yeah, I work at some corporate, stronghold right now, but in reality, I just want to go on a spiritual retreat. Anything that's very incongruent. You're like, yeah, I'm actually doing this right now, but in reality, I would much prefer to be doing this very opposite thing. I think it's time to really get loud with it, Taurus. And when I say get loud, I think that at least it's time for you to accept it yourself and know what your true colors are and what your true motivations are, okay? And really plug those into the formula. And it could really be stemming from a past relationship. Six of Cups is about closure and the strength that we get from nostalgia and positive feelings from the past. So something about that might really need to be honed in on. Like, have I convinced myself that somebody from my past was just a negative presence when they actually had a lot to offer, or vice versa? And just really because as a Taurus, we can get really fixed on things, really fixated. We can really paint things, one color and one tone, where it's really good for a Taurus, especially in the third week of August, to accept the complexity that something can be good and bad for you. Something can be or can wield incredible potential while also being nullifying at the same time. This is a time, and life in general is a time where things are not ever as simple as a Taurus would like them to be. So just accepting the complexity of things and simplifying your own life through that acceptance is the best way through now. Week number 4, death rooted down by 6 of Wands. Transformation, you're suddenly holding your head higher. You're suddenly feeling more confident. Whatever happens in the first 3 weeks, this is a transformative time for you that crowns itself in the 4th week. And you will come out of this month with a lot more confidence and a lot more understanding of how you need to move forward. Some of you have to just dip out, okay? Some of you just have to, ride away from a certain path. Others of you have to now commit to it, okay? This is not, by the 4th week of August, no longer is it sort of constantly in flux in a middle zone or stagnating at the crossroads or being 1 foot in, 1 foot out. We are either committed or we are exiting. That can go for so many things. Like in a relationship, for example, this is no longer where we're, hooking up, but not in a relationship with that person. It's no longer where we are, contributing to this incredible new business and new intellectual property, but not actually incorporating it, okay? Things like that, where we have 1 foot in and 1 foot out of things. This, to me, by Virgo season, feels to be like super substantial for everybody to pick one side or the other, And it goes the same for like philosophies and societal ideations, How do I really feel about some of these subjects? Am I sort of hovering around like this like center point, which is good sometimes. Like there's nothing wrong with being in the middle of things. And there are some people that are actually really doing that well right now when it comes to anything, like with a business or with a relationship, like half in, half out. But the fixed signs especially don't feel to me to be those people. So anyway, Taurus, thank you so much for being here. You are super powerful, one of the most powerful signs this month, but there is a lot to cope with. There is a lot to understand. The power that you have, the abilities that you have, the goals that you have in relation to how you're actually living your present moment is very much the theme this month for you, and understanding that and understanding what you actually want, okay? It's not about anybody else this month, Taurus. I don't feel that now is the time for like relationships, or if they're there, they're not really meant to be affecting the wholesome aspect of your life. So good luck, Taurus. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to put together an extended on Patreon. If the reading has resonated for you, definitely be sure to come and check that out. It's a great way to support the channel and get all of the readings early, ad-free, and their extended counterparts, all for just one monthly fee of $5. So thank you so much, Taurus. Your likes, comments, and subscribes here on YouTube also make my day. And without further ado, let's jump over to Patreon and see what's coming up for you.